I've seen that all the hospitals and stuff are shutting down. And it's no cap. 3 has shut down in my area, and I live in a little small town, so I know it's facts. What if they're trying to shut down all the hospitals, start some shit, and then introduce that new Neuralink? Like, oh, we might not have the supplies because of the stuff that's going on with Hong Kong, but we got this Neuralink that'll fucking heal you. What if they do that? I'm just trying to figure out why are they doing this shit that they're doing, because it's like it makes no sense. I've seen.
So here I am walking into my last shift in the emergency department, and it's not because I'm retiring. I wish it was because I was retiring. Actually walking into my last shift here in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, because the company that owns this hospital and another hospital in Chester, PA, are shysters and criminals and have stolen everything. When you make over $250 million as a CEO of a company, and then you close hospitals for people in need in communities that are fairly densely populated, including a trauma center, people are going to die, and that's what's going to happen, and these people should be held accountable. Thousands of people are losing their jobs by the end of this week, beginning of next. It's a disgrace. I've been in the medical field for 35 years, and I've worked in the emergency room now for over 22. There's nothing else you can say about it. It's a sad day. It's a sad day for Delaware County, Pennsylvania. It's a sad day for all the staff. I know hospitals aren't perfect, systems are broken, but when you intentionally pad your pockets at the result of people not being able to get care, you are immoral, you're a disgrace, you're unethical. I'm sure there's lots of nurses that I work with that all feel the same way. Doctors, housekeeping, kitchen staff, ancillary staff. So here's on to a new adventure in the nursing field. I don't really know what I'm going to do. But I like patient care. I like taking care of people. I like take care of all people. I don't care who you are. Well, I'm an ER nurse, so that's probably not true. ER nurses do know that. Anyway, peace out to this portion of my life and my career. The only thing left to say is good night, Moon.
I think people should know this. Hospitals nationwide are letting go of people left and right. Something is seriously wrong, and not many people are talking about it. So we have a new budget plan, and it just might have some healthcare cuts. I mean, I don't think there'd be this many hospitals laying off this many people if they didn't see this coming. And I'm serious, just Google hospital layoffs, and you will see nothing but mass layoffs nationwide, everywhere. It just keeps going. Now, this courageous healthcare worker at the top here posted a video because she works in Delaware County, and they're letting everybody go at the hospital. And it's happening to all the hospitals around her hospital. And you should see people's comments. She went on to say, I'm a respiratory therapist working my last shift tonight at Taylor. We had a 3-day notice that we were losing our jobs for profit private equity firms. They have no place in healthcare. Another person said the closures are the result of actions by private equity firms. They accumulated substantial debt and diverted funds to dividends to pay investors. Basically, they took the money and filed bankruptcy. This is our healthcare system, people. So either these cuts are coming and they know it, and these equity firms are getting out now and running with the money, or something is massively up because there are layoffs nationwide, every state. We could have a serious problem here.
Okay, so we've got to talk. Like, I think all of us have to have a deeper conversation. And I don't want this to be about red or blue or whatever. I just want you to tap in if you are American. Just tap in if you're American and listen to what it is that I'm about to say. China, Hong Kong, right now. Let's just say Hong Kong, particularly, has cut off its resources for medication and things like med beds, which, if you don't know, are extremely important. They have cut off all resources to the United States. So, whether you're red or whether you're blue, we all have loved ones who are potentially sick, or ourselves who are sick or struggling with something. They put that over 55% of our medication come from Hong Kong. So, with this being said, they did state there will be tons of hospitals closing because they will be completely incompetent if they did not, because they will not have the supplies to keep a hospital running. Okay? So whether you are red or whether you are blue, if you are an American and you have someone who is sick, who needs attention, who's on regular medication, who uses and utilizes the hospital system, you're at risk of having that all go away. So, American people have lost they're out of touch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is so, I'm red and I'm blue and I'm blue and I'm red and I'm red and I'm blue and I'm blue and I'm red. Even being any of those, it just keeps us divided. And right now, I'm talking to everybody as an American who has my own health situation going on right now as we speak. And who also knows tons of people that, do utilize the hospital or the clinics or, so on and so forth. So I want to know. I really genuinely want to know. Do not pick a side. Do not pick a side. Just pick being American first. Pick your loved ones first. So if you're some heavy Trump supporter, don't go and Trump your way on my comments. Don't do it. I want you to answer the question. I want you to all answer the question without putting your political side into this conversation. What is it that we are all going to actually do? And how is this going to affect you? And are you on medications? And are you worried?
These people are cooked. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, who to rule and teach well. Peace and blessings, salutations, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatham, to the sincere believers out there, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahushai, the sincere Akim, noising his gospel abroad, occupying the prophecies, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahushai until all is fulfilled and Lord will, we are redeemed. So America is definitely going under. This place is clearly under judgment. Everywhere you look, things are just getting worse and worse by the day. People's mental state is at an all-time low. Jobs are being lost left and right. Supply chains are breaking down. Food is being, taken away. So the Lord is working on this place. All right. So what you have now is you have this mass closing of hospitals across the country. And of course, behind this, you're going to have a lot of, people that are in the healthcare field lose their jobs. All right. Because with these tariffs going on with China, and in particular, where is it? Hong Kong, because a lot of those pharmaceuticals come from Hong Kong and India as well. You see, which tariffs are on, I don't think India right now, but Hong Kong and stuff like that. They're halting their postal service, to America. So a lot of those pharmaceuticals are not about to come. Healthcare equipment, which is produced in China, is not going to be getting shipped over here because China has halted sending supplies to America because of these tariffs. So things are getting really bad. And what you're going to have behind this is mass death, okay? And this is what the elites want, because prior to them destroying the Georgia Guidestones is said to maintain humanity at or below 500 million. Now, you have roughly, about 8 billion people on the earth right now. So they would have to knock off 7.5 billion people. Well, how are they going to do that? Starvation, war, releasing new diseases, poisoning the food supply, spraying the air, poisoning the water, grid blackouts to where people don't have any resources. So this devil is about to hit the people from every angle, you see. And this is why we continue to warn that, look, the only way you're going to escape this is to repent. All right, for you Israelites out there. You must repent or you're going to die. It's as simple as that. All right? If you continue to live in sin and continue to disregard the warning of the prophets, continue to disregard, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, then you're going to have to know death by pain, which is what a lot of people are currently experiencing, and the whole land is in a state of mourning. All right? Nobody's happy, man. Esau, he's putting that squeeze down on the people, but with these hospitals, it's going to be a domino effect, and this lets you know that these devils are really about to do something. They're about to have some mass event to where, all them people that shot the J, they about to activate some type of frequency, and everybody that took that is going to act like a reactor antenna, and a lot of people is going to fall out, and these hospitals are going to close down, because you got to keep in mind that these hospitals are not in the business of really helping people. They're in the business of making money. All right, these so-called healthcare institutions, they're open to make a profit, and being that the economy is about to go under, the dollar is about to be replaced with a digital system, there's really no need to have these hospitals open anymore. Right? This is why people are getting laid off, So a lot of people are about to suffer because, these Americans, they live on meds, man. And a lot of these nurses, they're not sincere. They're just in it for the money, and they're not truly physicians. They're doctors, okay, which when you go into the definition for doctor, it means to falsify, okay, which they're falsifying. They're posing as physicians, okay, when they prescribe you a prescription of so-called medication, which is nothing more than sorcery and pharmakia, witchcraft, basically. All they're doing is giving you something to temporarily make the pain or whatever that you're experiencing go away, but it always comes back. Same thing if you got a cancer patient, they'll bring you into these hospitals to undergo cancer treatment, right? And they putting you on chemotherapy, all right, which chemotherapy is destroying your body, all right? They putting all type of radiation up in you, and it's in the name to, destroy the cancer, all right? Well, why don't they just tell you to do a diet change, fast, get into the herbs, more holistic forms of care? Well, they're not going to tell you that because they're not in the business of healing you, all right? They're not in the business of making you whole. They're in the business to make a profit, all right? That's what these hospitals are all about. So now they closing down because the economy is pretty much through, so all these people are about to lose, all right? So this right here, hospitals closing in America, the alarming trend and its impacts on communities. We'll just grab some points out of here, right? Hospital closings is a concerning trend sweeping across America, particularly in rural areas. As healthcare costs continue to rise and resources become scarce, many hospitals are left with no choice but to close their doors, leaving communities with limited access to healthcare services. The rising tide of hospital closings. Over the past few years, hospital closures have been on the rise in the U.S. According to Becker's Hospital Review, 5 hospitals closed within a 2-month span in late 2022, and 10 more reported closings closing departments, or ending services. This trend shows no signs of slowing down, as hundreds of hospitals in rural America are at risk of closure, according to a U.S. news report. So these are the reasons that they're saying are behind these closures. We can just get some points. Financial struggles, right? Workforce shortages, industry consolidation, shift towards outpatient care, and what they don't have in here is AI and robotics, okay? Because human beings, are not going to be quote unquote healthcare professionals anymore. Now it's moving towards AI, all right? And I doubt that they'll really have these hospitals open. If anything, these hospitals will be used as detention centers, man. But in this new beast system, if you're gonna want to get any kind of help or medication, then you're gonna have to take that MOTB. As you heard Eve in that first clip I played. What if all these hospitals are closing down so that people can take the Neuralink? Well, that's exactly what it's all leading to. As we always say, all roads lead to the MOTB. You see, but these so-called physicians, these doctors, man, they're physicians of no value. They're not here, because they really care about you. They're here to make a profit. They're here to make some money, and this is why they keep people sick. This is why they promote all the sugary foods, which are highly inflammatory. This is why when you look on a bag of chips, the damn bag of chips has over 100 ingredients in it, man. You buy a loaf of bread, the damn bread got 50 ingredients. I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but the point is that certain foods that should be very simple have too many ingredients, man. All right, that's why even a lot of American foods that are sold overseas, mainly in Europe, they have warning labels on them. All right, because over there in Europe they have like very strict food control. So a lot of the ingredients that are contained within American food, they don't sell in these foreign nations because it's harmful to your health in the long run. All right, and you have all this food over here in America that tastes good, but it's not nutrient dense. It has no nutrients, man. All right. That's why they give you the tasty cakes and the Doritos and the, hot Cheetos and the Skittles. All these things are destroying your body. All right. So Esau is the devil, man, because he knows what this is going to do. And once you get sick, once your immune system breaks down, which a lot of people in America have, chronic sickness, cancers and things of that nature, to where they have to be within this, so-called, healthcare system, which is predicated on profiting off of people's demise. Okay, patients are in these facilities, and the longer that you're in there, the more money they make off you. Going back to the example of the cancer patient, you'll have a cancer patient in there for 6 months to a year, and they study doing chemo. If they was to get you on a strict diet, change up your eating regimen and incorporating more whole foods, incorporating herbs into your diet, regular exercise, that you would see a natural, holistic renewal of the body. But again, how can Esau make money off of you if you're not sick? So this devil is all about making a profit, all about making money. Understand? So when you go here as well, right? This one. Okay. Yeah, so that article, a lot of hospitals are closing in rural areas, right? Lawrence County Medical Center announces official date of ER closure, okay, which is going to be on May 23rd, 2025. So all over the country, you got these hospitals closing down, So a lot of people that depend on Esau's system for care, they're all about to give up the ghost real soon, which is the plan anyway. That's been the plan from the jump. Hong Kong Post suspends all package shipments to the U.S. and blames tariffs, which includes many of these pharmaceuticals. So Hey man, things are about to get very critical out here, very dangerous. Cause look, these Americans, if they ain't got their meds, there's no way that they can function on a normal level. It's really only the meds that are keeping these people, you know, from not crashing out. But in a scenario where there's no food, there's no meds, people can't get high no more. People gonna have to face their demons, and they not ready to do that, man. All right, so this is why the society is about to get buck wild in a minute, man. And this Project 25 is going exactly to plan. See, when you go to let's go to Second Esdras. Matter of fact, let's go to Sirach, chapter, I think that's 38. Speaks about. Yep, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Verse 3, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. For the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Right? So the Lord has created medicines out of the earth. And when you go into it, there's medicine all around you. Okay? When you look at tree bark, certain leaves, certain grasses even, have medicinal properties, man. And these are things that we're not taught about in this world because, again, Esau wants you to depend on his so-called health care system, which is a system designed to destroy you, to keep you sick. He wants you to depend on him so he can make a profit off of you, right? But he's not going to teach you about the herbs and the healing properties, like a simple herb such as turmeric, okay, which is good for inflammation. It has anti-aging properties, anti-cancer properties. If you incorporate turmeric into your diet every single day with the regular workout regimen, regular exercise, you'll see a huge difference in your health. This is why people in America are, for the most part, obese. All right, because people drive everywhere. People don't go on daily walks. They don't work out. They have a very bad diet because a lot of people are not can't afford to eat good food, so they just eat the junk that's around. Burger King, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, stuff like that shoots your cholesterol up super high. You know what I'm saying? People having heart attacks left and right. So this system is listen, man, America is truly the valley of the shadow of death. All right. And Esau, as it says in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, he is as death. All right. So this man has weaponized food. He's weaponized the environment to be ill to your health. And this is why, brothers, we incorporate herbs into our diet. We incorporate fasting. Brothers have a workout regimen. You know what I'm saying? So you can be in the best health that you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately we got to do this work, man. So our vessel has to be in a good state. Brothers can't be walking around, all out of shape and unhealthy, man. You know what I'm saying? So through the spirit, we incorporate the herbs, into our diet, man. And it's really good for overall health, period. But yeah, the scriptures say that the Lord hath made medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Right? So if you're wise, you're not going to look to go to Esau because, what happened during the pandemic? Esau came out with the narrative of the CV-19, and everybody ran to these hospitals. You know what I'm saying? If people were sneezing, then they ran to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Then they shot you up with that what. And a lot of people went back to the spirit world behind that. You see what I'm saying? So this is, even more of a reason to stay out of these hospitals. I mean, unless something is really wrong, go in there, get checked out, have them tell you what's going on. And then from there, you take it from there, like, if you need brothers to help you with certain ailments and things like that, Brothers are up on herbs, brothers are up on certain remedies and things like that. Tap in. But you know what I'm saying? It's really a thing to where we have to be very mindful of what we're putting into our bodies now. We have to be very mindful of how we even walk about in this world, man, because Esau got snares set up at every corner. So we have to be mindful. All right, let's go to Second Ezra 6, not 6, like 16. Second Ezra 16. In verse 1, it says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Yeah, so this is a time where everybody's in mourning. People are afraid. People are scared. You know what I'm saying? Because they're seeing that destruction is coming upon the earth. Everywhere you look, it's a bad report. All right? So, when it says to gird up yourself with cloths of sack and hair, that means to prepare yourself for mourning. All right? Because in the ancient world, when people would, deal with something hard, whether, it was a death or, you were in a state of mourning, you know what I'm saying? And you would put on sackcloth, which is a very rough garment. It wasn't comfortable to wear, but it represented that you were in a state of mourning and sorrow, right? So this is what is coming upon this earth now, right? Let's go down to verse 14. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." You know what I'm saying? So, hey, all these plagues are being sent out. Earthquakes, famines, mass death, Esau coming down with great wrath. That itself is a plague, okay? Esau is a damn plague, man. And the time is going to come where the Most High is going to remove this plague from the earth, and the earth will finally be at rest. But yeah, all these things encompass the judgment of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. Verse 15, "The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth." Verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. All right? And if these hospitals, when these hospitals close down, should I say, what are people going to do? Because they don't have knowledge of using herbs and the right foods to eat and stuff like that. Very soon, it's not going to be no food to eat. So really, there's really no way out of this, man. If you're outside of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, there's no way to escape what's coming. You're gonna be cooked. When these things hit, man. But hey, even Ezra had to say, "Woe is me," which means destruction unto me. Who's gonna save me in these days? Because he was seeing what was going on, and he's like, man, this is wild. How can anybody make it out of this? But the faithful, the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashmi Shai are gonna make it out. You see? But yeah, this is the beginning of sorrows, man. This is why you see everybody complaining. Everybody's in a state of mourning and distress. Okay, ultimately because the wicked bears rule. It says, great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay, basically being sent for judgment, to deal with these people's wicked ways, man, to deal with their blasphemy, to deal with their pride. That's why these things are being sent on the earth, and even now, even though the earth is being smitten with plagues, right? Verse 20 says, "But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness." So you still have people proud as hell out here. All right. Alizé, that Mo, all right, he got outed, he got exposed, and this nigga's still proud, man. All right, so that shows you that there's just certain people that that's their lot. That's their lot, to be proud until the very end, and they're gonna be allotted for judgment and destruction. All right, we don't want to be of that lot. Right? Yeah, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right? And then when you go to, let's go to Hosea, the 4th chapter. You know, because, hey, the whole land is mourning, man. You know, people are seeing that there's really no hope left in this place, you know. Hosea 4 and verse 1, it says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yeah, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away." Yeah, so, you know, the land of America, Babylon the Great, you know, really this whole beast system, and soon the whole world, you know, is going to be in a state of languishing and mourning. All right? Because why? This is the end, man. You know, this is the end of the time of the Gentiles, the end of the kingdom of Esau. And it's going to go out with a bang, you see? But meanwhile, the Lord is breaking this place down. So the Lord, listen, the Lord could end this place in 1 hour if he wanted to, even less than that. But see, what the Lord is doing is he's making these people feel it, all right? The Lord is plaguing these people, and he's taking away everything that they love little by little, man. So they're getting bugged out within their mind, all right? Jeremiah 50, let's go down to about verse 20. 23. Jeremiah 50 and 23. "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?" What is the hammer of the whole earth? It's Babylon, the great America, right? How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? This place is being broke down in every aspect, all right? It soon come. If you don't believe it, hey, you're going to see it, and you damn sure going to feel it, all right? "How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" Verse 24, "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Call Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans," which is America. Okay, America is the land of the modern day Chaldeans. Now, the ancient Chaldeans, they were into sorcery, witchcraft. They were heavily tapped in to the left hand. All right, they were working all kind of sorcery. And in America today, you have the same thing going on. Okay, on the highest level, you have the elites of this world pushing out witchcraft and enchantments, through their agents of chaos that they put out there, and even on the lower level, with these hospitals and these, school systems and everything like that, it's all witchcraft and sorcery to take your mind away, from righteousness, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the land of the Chaldeans, America, Babylon the Great. All right. So the Lord got a great slaughter prepared for this place. A lot of people are about to expire here. You know what I'm saying? Is it in this chapter? 2nd Ezra 16. Let me see real quick. Salakia. If it ain't this chapter, where it says the dead shall be cast out as dung. That might be. Matter of fact, you know what? Yeah, let's go to 15. I think it's at 15. 2nd Ezra 15. No, hold on, Salakia. It actually might be. Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, I'm bugging. Yeah, I think it actually is. I probably read past it though. They select not a moment, sorrows come upon every side. I swore it was in this chapter. Close out on this one, but road full of thorns. Yeah, Salakia. I thought it was in this chapter, but it's all good. You know, where it said the dead shall be cast out is done. The grapes shall ripen. Yeah. Yeah, Salakia, I don't want to keep looking for it. Maybe, what is that? Second Ezra's 6, maybe? Let me just do this real quick. Yeah, Salakia, it's all good, you know. Matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll play that clip back, you know, and I'll find it.
I think
I've seen that all the hospitals and stuff are shutting down. And it's no cap. 3 has shut down in my area, and I live in a little small town, so I know it's facts. What if they're trying to shut down all the hospitals, start some shit, and then introduce that new Neuralink, like, oh, we might not have the supplies because of the stuff that's going on with Hong Kong, but we got this Neuralink that'll fucking heal you. What if they do that? I'm just trying to figure out why are they doing this shit that they're doing, because it's like, it makes no sense. I've seen that all the hospitals and stuff are shutting down. And it's no cap. 3 has shut down in my area, and I live in a little small town, so I know it's facts. What if they're trying to shut down all the hospitals, start some shit, and then introduce that new Neuralink, like, oh, we might not have the supplies because of the stuff that's going on with Hong Kong, but we...
Yeah, order out of chaos, man. And Salakia, it actually is the 16th chapter. I was just reading past it. You know, because I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not bugging. I know it's in the 16th chapter. But it's 2nd Ezra 16. And, yeah, I was reading right past it, Salakia. Yeah, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. You know, so when these hospitals are all closed up and stuff like that, it ain't gonna be nowhere for these people to go. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be nowhere. It ain't gonna be no cemeteries open. It's not gonna be no morgues open. People just gonna be laid out. You know, wherever people die at, that's where they gonna stay. You know, and of course that's gonna lead to more disease. It's gonna attract, you know, wild animals. You know what I'm saying? So we're coming to a time where it's not gonna be safe to be outside. It's not gonna be safe to just be out here. All right, and the Lord is going to make it this way for these people, because now is the time for them to reap the fruits of their wickedness. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Call Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shah, Basham Rakah Kadash. Until next time, shalom to the elect. Kom Yasha Allah, wa Bible Ball. On to the next one, shalom.